Hey, Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and thank you so much for joining me. Today is super, super hot. I don't even know what the degrees is, but it is one of those alert kind of days, so I'm staying hydrated. And you know what? I feel excited because my new matrix is in full effect here. So I need clients to sign up for things, and I need people and dragons and folks alike to be hanging out with me live and getting in on my Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness membership. So this is a good time to get involved. There's lots of new dragons who are finding us and learning that they are not alone. You know, the Dragon Dreams, Soul, Tribe, Collective, we get you. That's why we're your soul tribe. We're like you. Our experiences vary, but despite how much they vary, the thing that connects us all and unites us is admitting that we have those experiences, admitting that we do see things like ghosts or spirit guides or angels. And folks like myself, I don't get hung up on the category. I know some people do. It's very helpful for the conscious mind, so we know what we're talking about. But for what it's worth, angel, ET, you tell me. I use whatever language you use, and that's how I like to rock and roll. So let me know how your life is unfolding, where you're at with your matrix. When you hang out with me live, you get in on stuff. And for what it's worth, it's absolutely free to follow me on Buy Me a Coffee. I put my link in the chat. I'll put it in there again. So you get in on the emails. If I'm offering promotions, free services. Recently, I posted a pretty sweet post in my Facebook group, and unfortunately, somebody responded. Only one person responded, and they responded too late. And there was an opportunity for free mind reprogramming, absolutely free. But that was something that I planned to do for the conference as a live demonstration. And the conference ended up being canceled. It was a bit too last minute, to be fair, but the point I wanted to make is follow me. It's free to follow me. Today, my intention is to go over a promotion with you, just let you know I'm looking for guest speakers for my Tuesday show, Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength. And I'm also looking for dragon speakers to speak at my conferences. Now, typically, those who are guests on my Tuesday show become speakers at my conferences. That would be ideal. So the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective gets to know you a little bit. And the next conference is in September. It's called Falling Consciously. The next one after that is in December, and it's called Season of Dreams. And I'm already planning out 2027. So there's a maximum of 6 dragon speakers per conference, and it's really important there's a mix match. You do not have to be an expert. I don't investigate my dragon speakers. I'm in it for the story medicine. So step 1, let's go over my PowerPoint that I have. And then step 2, let's pull some cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. Now, something I wanted to mention about my new matrix is part of my matrix is bridging my dream life with my waking life. And I'm at a point now where I'd like to bridge the dream life and waking part with me servicing clients outdoors, because I really like doing that. Let me know in the chat if you can hear the cars, because I'm learning the different microphone opportunities. If you can hear the cars in the background, let me know. I can change my mic. If you don't care about the cars in the background, then that's fine. So with my new matrix, my ultimate goal is basically to live in a beach community. I love living by the ocean. I love in the morning, in particular, when the tide's way out and seemingly you can just walk out forever. And I'd like to bring a wagon with me. I'm one of those people. I always got a wagon or a cart of some kind. Maybe a backpack will be enough. But, I want to set up a little morning day camp for myself and service clients. And so I'm not there yet on my journey, but I figured, you know what? It's beautiful weather outside. Today's a little hot. Let's do this here. So, hi, Michael. Good to see you there in the chat. So I'm going to go over my PowerPoint here. I won't be able to see the comments. I'm just going to leave a comment. I won't be able to see the comments until I'm done my PowerPoint. Oh, spelling mistakes. I won't be able to see my comments until I'm done the PowerPoint. So please leave your questions, ask questions, and donate on BMAC for a Dragon Dream Oracle card. There we go. Okay, so if you can't afford to pay me money to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, no money, no problem. What can you do? That's what the stone people are asking me. So when I did my shamanic training, we were told that we shouldn't be offering any free services unless it's like promotional. So I do a lot of promotional. I don't mind pulling a card for the collective, but it was reinforced actually that there needs to be an energy exchange. So if you're local, you can offer to make me dinner. That's awesome, But if you're not local, what can you do? And some suggestions out there, you can buy one of my books. You can purchase the Dragon Dreams Oracle. It's a bit more expensive. You can leave a review on my page, right? What can you do? So, okay, let me go through my PowerPoint here. Just going to bring it up. And this PowerPoint, it's my master PowerPoint. So depending on when I'm talking about, I'll spend more time, less time on slides. And as I'm going through this PowerPoint, please leave me any questions you have. Hopefully I'll answer them along the way. And let me know if you can hear me okay. Might hear the cars in the background. Oh, okay, pulling this up to the stage. All right. It's hot. Okay. So who am I? Gina Virginia Casella here. Visionary behind the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, Project 30, ISIS Unity Consciousness. All of my content is merging together. So it's really exciting and you're invited to be part of it. Just wanting to make sure here that the live is in sync. Okay, perfect. So everything that I'm saying is through dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. So this is how we unite through the dream world. United are we. Be free in the knowing that you have a community, a co-dreaming ecosystem. We're your soul tribe, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. And we've been waiting for you and we continue to await you. Stories are medicine. I'm a strong believer about that. I like to talk about all kinds of things. I'm one of those people, it's been happening my whole life, complete strangers. They approach me, they tell me very bizarre things. I dare you, double dare you to try and sound bizarre. It's trying to be trying. I think I've heard pretty much everything and I'm really not surprised by anything anymore. I am disappointed about some of the ethical things that I'm hearing, but I'm very open. So I like talking about all of these subjects here on the screen. Big fan of transforming trauma into treasure and using meditation as a tool, moving using meditation in lieu of medication. I love talking about the rules of the mind and, of course, interesting dreams, shamanic training. I love working with the Andean medicine wheel. So Tuesdays, this is for 2026. We have a monthly dream ecosystem. Every Tuesday, I hang out live, Story Species, Story Medicine, where dragons alike, authors, dancers, any kind of artist, if you're telling a story, whether it's with words or movement or pictures, you're sharing medicine, and I greatly value that. So you don't have to have like some PhD or something like that to come on my show. If you do, that's great. And if you've never presented before, this might be a nice platform for you, because Tuesdays, it's really laid back. And when I'm hosting you, I make sure that I have your information in advance. I have a little checklist, and you can count on me to ask you all kinds of questions to keep the flow going. I know what it's like. Wednesdays, that brings us to today. Wednesday, I'm with you live extra early today just because it's so hot outside. It's only going to get hotter. But Wednesdays, that's when I hang out live with you. Typically 1:30 p.m. Eastern. And if you would like me to be a guest on your show, this is the time that I've carved out for us to get together and to do that. So seasonally, there's also 4 conferences to look forward to online and a 5th in-person conference, which is pending annually. So the next one is in September, and I'll go through those slides with you. I do offer private sessions. They are very limited, and I have the membership as well for Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. There's some serious bonuses in there, and the bonuses in the Project 30 membership only get better and better and better. And this fall, you can look forward to me providing more videos and opportunities for you. So these are the dragon dates. You can find these slides in my Facebook group, which is also free to join, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. You can check out the pinned items. Falling Consciously, September 19th. If you're looking at Season of Dreams, December 12th, and you're like, Gina, you've got to plug me in there, please send me an email right away, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. I'm focusing on September, but there's absolutely no reason why I can't start plugging people in for December. And in just a few months, I'll be actually promoting the dates for 2027. I know folks like to plan ahead, especially with travel plans and whatnot, 1 to 2 years in advance. So that's my style too. 1 to 2 years in advance. That's how I like to manifest. So live hangout, that's what we're doing now. Come hang out with me. You can buy my Dragon Dreams book series and Oracle. You're a part of this. So if you read my books and or engage with the Dragon Dreams Oracle, like, let me know how you're in there. How are you playing a role? How are you being represented? What archetypes speak to you? I want to know everything. So I'm making mini movies based on all of this. Like I said, Project 30 is the umbrella term. So everything I do falls under Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness, and that includes you. Lushing, that was the first mini movie that I made. So Lushing is a terrifying story. It's based on a real nightmare that I had. Nightmares for me are very far and few, and this was definitely facing a shadow. And I've come to appreciate that the shadow is no different than the light, and we all have different needs. And you can actually find the story Lushing in book 8, Scary Dreams, of the Dragon Dreams book series. You can also read it absolutely free. You can find it in my Buy Me a Coffee, and it'll redirect you to the Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, that's where you can find the PDF. And looshing, it makes you think. So I've explained what looshing's about lots of times. Check it out. And on that note, on my YouTube channel, there's lots of playlists, and one of the playlists is me reading. And I read looshing, and I talk about looshing a lot. So it's time for you folks now to start talking about it. I'm absolutely terrified of looshing. I still think about it. The movie, we can watch it. I've got the mini movie. Just remind me, because I know I'm getting excited to pull some cards here, but I can show you the mini movie. Just let me get through this PowerPoint. I'm not going to go through all of these slides. This is a presentation that I created to function as a master slide for people who have absolutely no idea who I am, what the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective is, and it's just handy now for me to pull up. So we yield our power, the biological ones we are, and it's my mission to create safer spaces. I have a double mission. I feel like all of us do. This is what I do in the eyes of the public, and then behind the scenes, I'm really working with my deep subconscious mind to help benefit me, my general everyday life skills, the sharpness in the way that I think and process information that's important to me. And I also am working on my voice. I used to have a very strong voice. Not that I was a singer, but I always had a very loud, booming presenter's voice. And after my severe panic attack, my voice completely took a hit. That was a handful of years ago now. So I'm really working on my voice chakra, and let me know how you're working on yourself. That's all part of the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, is being open about the tools that we use. So voice yoga is a new tool for me, and I'm enjoying it. We talk about all kinds of things, Bigfoot stories, Virgin Mary sightings. And again, you don't have to explain anything. I do ask you to tell your stories. So if you want to come on my show, you need to tell your story, right? And we don't focus on blood and gore at all. I mean, geez, there's so much blood and gore and violence out there. What I'm doing is making space to hear the voices, right? So I talk about the confused warrior a lot, and I am going to write a little booklet about that, or include a chapter of it. So I personally have plans that I was saving for the fall. But if you're like me, sea turtle energy is so high right now. It's a number of gemstone readings that I've done where sea turtle energy, it kept coming up, and I thought, well, you know what, it keeps coming up, but it's not applying to me. And then it just hit me. I'm like, oh my God, this is applying to me. This is synchronicity. It's not just the clients, it's the private readings that I do, but also the collective readings that I've been doing. So sea turtle energy for most of us, if not all of us, is super high. And if there's something that you've been wanting to do, don't wait until the fall. Pretend that there's fire under your butt right now to get this done, because when the fall hits, you need to be in effect so people can start signing up for your programs. If it's your intention to open up a donut shop, you got to start doing your homework now so that in the fall you're actually opening the donut shop, not putting it together in the fall, but actually opening it in the fall. So I feel excited. So the month of August, my intention is to make some mini videos and to provide a bit more structure. And this, of course, is all going to be benefiting those who belong to the collective membership, Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness. And so when you hang out with me, you get in on all of this. So this slide here is very important. And again, you can find this as a featured item in my Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. So if you'd like to be a guest on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength, please contact me, GinaVirginiaCasella@gmail.com. Next week, I won't be available live. However, I will be available behind the scenes. And then the next week, I want to have somebody plugged in every Tuesday. And it'd be ideal if those folks who are plugged in on the Tuesdays are going to be the Dragon speakers in September. So if you've been itching to be a speaker or to be part of a conference, exactly like I said, there's fire under your butt. So don't wait till the fall to start thinking about it. You can start thinking about it now. Send me an email and I can plug you in. And then when the fall comes, now you're actually presenting, right? And on one of the Tuesdays before that, going to be on my show. So this is a lot of information, I realized, to throw at you. You can catch the replay, or it might be more simpler for you to review the slides that I've provided in the daily BMAC posts, or you can check out the slides and the featured items on my Facebook. So Gina Virginia Casella at gmail.com. Send me your information. And I wanted to emphasize this point here because, there we go. I wanted to emphasize this point here because if you've published a story, then it would be cool if you sent me maybe 10 to 15 minutes worth of material that I could read. Maybe a passage here and there, or it could be an entire chapter. I could read part of it, you could read part of it. There's no pressure for you to read, but it is always a treat when the author reads. And so I'm happy to read on your behalf as well. If you have not published a book yet, that is absolutely okay, because it's my belief people who come on my show will eventually publish a book. And a great way to get started, public school teacher in me, that was my old matrix, talking is writing. So you just come on my show and talk and share your story medicine. And the beauty is YouTube defaults to creating a transcript. So then you can take that transcript and work with it. So if you don't write and you sing or you dance or you sculpt or paint, even if you're a beginner and that's how you're sharing your story medicine, then it would be cool if you sent me a little video clip that I can play just to show you off and really highlight your medicine, because we all have different ways of sharing and receiving information. So we got a lot of compliments for the conferences. I've collaborated in the past as a teacher, but not on a huge scale. I have a lot of experience myself presenting and whatnot, volunteering behind the scenes. But this back in March, when we did Promise of Spring, that was my first time. I did it completely solo, all the planning, carrying out, executing of the agenda. And it made for a phenomenal day. I was able to get some speakers who were on board. I set some due dates. They played along. And that integrity and commitment is what made for a successful day. The gratitude I have is very deep dragon gratitude. And so if you'd like to be a dragon speaker, there's information there that you got to send me, and there's due dates. Should you follow through with being a dragon speaker, behind the scenes, I keep you organized so you don't have to worry about, wait, what's due and how much time do I have? Like, I created a little conference Bible, and every conference, that conference Bible is getting edited, and it's a lot more simplified now. So I feel really great about it. And you know what? This is just the beginning of a great unfolding. And one of the bonuses for Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness is you get a free link to the conferences. So what do I expect from the Dragon speakers? I expect a 35-minute maximum presentation. 20 to 25 is okay. 15 is too short. It needs to be a good 35. You want time to pause. I need you to be available for some Q&As. That's going to take a good 15 minutes or so. And I also require you to submit a pre-recorded video of yourself presenting your presentation, just in case we have any tech issues. And I know a lot of you have experience presenting, and you really don't need to be creating like a video for the sake of practicing. But what's interesting is the past two conferences, all the speakers are commenting that creating that video actually provided them with a lot of healing. And this is just the power of the story medicine, is that you, the medicine bearer, sharing your medicine, also receives healing by having a live audience, and you receive even more healing by preparing yourself for the conference. And one of those tools is creating the pre-recorded video. So I don't show your pre-recorded video in case, because you're presenting live, it's literally just in case we have tech issues, then I have something to play. And after the conference, if you want to share your pre-recorded video with the world, go ahead, but please keep it private until the conference is over. So I'm not there yet in my journey to pay you money. I do believe in energy exchanges. And so as an energy exchange, I provide all of the dragon presenters and the monitors slash tech support dragons one of my one-of-a-kind gemstone readings. It takes a good 45 minutes. And for me personally, providing the gemstone reading, it's not just energy exchange. I want you to experience, it's my dragon desire for you to experience the gemstone reading firsthand. And then it connects us all as a dragon community that much more, because then as the speakers behind the scenes and also publicly, you're talking about your gemstone readings. And some of the dragon speakers, all of this is behind the scenes private, but some of the dragon speakers opted for their gemstone reading to be live, and some of them opted to share their gemstone readings to the public afterwards. So for me, it's just a really beautiful thing. If you're a dragon speaker, I also offer you lifetime free membership to Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. So that would default you to getting free links to all of my other online conferences that I charge money for. So like I said, there's some pretty sweet deals in there. So check out the bonuses. And the money that I do charge, well, where does that money go? It goes to my bank account, because I'm the administrator, the overhead, the behind the scenes. I'm doing it all on my own. The volunteers that help me out, they help me out by sharing links and monitoring the chat, and between the gemstone reading and Project 30 membership, I feel like that's a really nice balance. Something I would like to do is buy the dragon presenters dinner, so and it would be really cool if we could get to a point where dragons had their airfare covered. Let me know if you can hear that traffic behind the scenes. Playing around with my microphone settings there. So any money raised supports the administration and overhead costs. So that's money for me to help pay my lifestyle bills, including the artificial intelligence that I use to create the posters and PowerPoints and whatnot. So huge thank you to those who were involved in Promise of Spring. It helped set the precedents. These are the dragon speakers. Summer Days was the second one that we had. Deep dragon gratitude to our dragon presenters and the tech crew. Julia Anchorhaven, she's double timing as a presenter and as a monitor. So Falling Consciously, that's our next conference to look forward to. And if you're interested in getting a discount, I forget now if it's G Casella or Casella G, but I do have it in my Buy Me a Coffee. So check out my Buy Me a Coffee. I posted it in the gallery section, and I called it something like Save Money or whatever. But for what it's worth, if you're interested in helping me sell tickets, then if you belong to the membership Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness, then it's a privilege, because those members, you just send me an email or a Facebook message and let me know that you'd like to be a dragon endorser, and then I'll create a code for you and you can save money. So I'll talk about more of that in just a moment here. So again, if you wanted to host me on your show, Wednesdays, 1:30 Eastern, that would be ideal. That's for 2026. See where I'm at, 2027. And my email is up there, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. This whole list here, all of these points, these are things that I don't need to make a presentation to talk about. I just enjoy chit-chatting about it. So any of these topics, the pros and cons of having me on your show, huge pros. I'm an easy guest. I talk. I like to engage with the chat members. I'm very open. The conversation can go in all kinds of directions. One of the cons is that it's easy to slip into timelessness with me. So we got to make sure we're paying attention to the time. And on that note, it's no problem for me just to show up randomly and chat about whatever. But if you wanted to talk about something specific, it's nice for me to know in advance, because I might have tools to show you like my flora or whatnot. So one of the cons is timelessness. The other con is that there's too much to talk about. So when you ask me a question, I tend to have like a really big long answer for you. I might have to tell multiple stories and then tell you one story about how those stories go together. So let me know how you relate. And if you're hosting a conference, then let me know if you're interested in having me present about any of these topics. I'm happy to vend doing gemstone readings, and it would be awesome to provide a live mind reprogramming demonstration. So reach out to me. Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, we await you. You can look for this image for the free Facebook group and my YouTube channel. This image also varies in colors. So I sincerely thank you for sharing all your story medicine with me and courageously dreaming with me. This is my slide for Project 30 members who are interested in becoming a dragon endorser. So basically, I keep it simple. If I'm selling tickets and provide you with a discount code, if somebody saves $10 because they use your discount code, then you just made $10. So if two people use your discount code, that means two people saved $10. So that's $10, $20 in your pocket, right? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100. So if you sell 10, if 10 people buy links using your discount code and save $10, then you get $100. So I can pay you through Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee makes it easy. And they do take a small fee. That's how they make their money. So there's information you can click on. If you go to Buy Me a Coffee, check out the gallery, you'll see this picture. And then there's basically a link that reiterates the information that I just said. So there's more details that you can check out. And what I would like to do is pay you after the conference. That way it's one lump sum, and then BMAC isn't like charging a fee every single time there's a transaction. So Buy Me a Coffee is very user-friendly. Something that I wasn't aware until I started making money on it was you have to actually, I think it's called payout. You have to check their dashboard. Every platform has, the language varies, right? But whatever the payout is, you have to tell them, I want my money. They're not just going to put it in your bank account. So Wednesday, I think, is like the payday. So just something to think about. All right, so my presentation is finished. Thank you so much for letting me go through that. It is hot here. Hi, Rogelio. I see you there in the chat. And Michael, I don't know if you're still with us, but great to see everybody. I'm ready to pull cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. So if you'd like me to pull a card for you, you need to make a financial contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. The link's there in the chat. And no money, no worry. What can you do? Let me know in the chat. Maybe you provided me with a review, or you're, I don't know, be creative, be creative. I'm working with pole energy here, and that comes from the plant people, and mostly the stone people, though. The stone people are like, that's how the oracle works. There needs to be an exchange. And one of the reasons I learned in my shamanic training is because you don't want to leave this world owing anybody anything. And that resonated with me, and I forgot about it. And I've been pulling a lot of Dragon Dreams Oracle for free just because I'm excited to share, but then the reciprocity was lacking. So the stone people are stalking me in my dreams, if you will. So I'm willing to stay live as long as people are donating. And I think it's too hot to put my dream scarf around my neck. I might even have to pin my hair up. But maybe I'll just put it on my hat. How does that look? Hi, Nimur. Good to see you. Let me know how to properly say your name. Okay, usually I wear my dream scarf around my neck. It is way too hot. I might even have to tie my hair up, I think. But if you would like me to pull a card for you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, please put some money in my Buy Me a Coffee. If you don't have any money, then do something. Write a review on my Facebook. Write a comment on one of my YouTube videos. If you have a resource, share it absolutely free in my free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, so other Dragon Dreamers have access to it. Please don't promote yourself or I'll have to delete it, but I'm just talking like a free, random, handy tool that you have. What can you do? So I'm going to pull one card for the collective. And from Croatia, wow. Such beautiful colors. I've never been to Croatia, but I always think of like white and green and crafts and yarns and beads and women in skirts, the traditional clothing. That's what comes to my mind. So, okay, let's just mix these up a bit. Some of them are hooked over. This one fell. So this is the one here. And this is a great card. White Rabbit, Ripples of Change. So White Rabbit, Ripples of Change. This is really powerful because just yesterday I pulled the card, the Dog Monkey Folk. And the Dog Monkey Folk card is really important. And this card includes Dog Monkey Folk. So there's like a little Pac-Man guy in the center that represents you. And around you, there's all this like turbulence and hopping. And there's different colored footprints in there. That's your footprints, the Dog Monkey Folk's footprints. Footprints from the stars, the Milky Way galaxy, the silver road that a lot of us come from is completely being bumped around. There's lots of turbulence, and this is because the dog monkey folk are intentionally causing turbulence in your life, because there's a part of all of us right now that we would rather go without and do without than put up with somebody's crap. If somebody's being rude to us, hey, you know what? We don't need a ride from that person. We'll walk or take the bus. Somebody's being rude to us, hey, you know what? If I'm like depending on you for food and shelter, I think I'm going to start working on my own quiet empowerment, getting the job, finding ways to support myself is coming to mind. So ripples of change, breaching, convergence with folks. Breaching is very important because earlier I was speaking to sea turtle energy. And when I think of breaching, I think of the wise and well whale and orca elders. I think about how they breach the water, and it's like breaching dimensions, breaching different timelines and spaces, breaching contracts, rising above, going into the veil, if you will, penetrating the air. So the Dragon Dreams Oracle comes with a booklet, and I'm going to read from the booklet what this means. This is Oracle card number 12, 1 plus 2 equals 3, if that means anything to anybody. And often on my Buy Me a Coffee, I'll do promotions where I'll pull a card every now and then. And recently I did that, so you can scroll back on my Buy Me a Coffee. Just looking at the Oracle, you can ask yourself, why is this card perfect for me? Despite everything I've said, like forget about what I said. Why is this card perfect for you? So I know working with any oracle or tarot, it can be intimidating because there's a lot of knowledge to know, right? And there's this booklet that it comes with. But honestly, if you've never engaged with tarot or oracle, the Dragon Dreams Oracle, it can be quite the foreboding oracle. It's not some wishy-washy oracle that's just going to have like feel-good vibes. It's like really raw. And you're invited to be a part of it. So I provide a booklet, but for what it's worth, if you don't want to use the booklet and you just want to look at the pictures and ask yourself, why is this card perfect for me today? Hi, Bulent. Good for you for participating today. There's a number of you participating live. It's hot. I think people are scrolling through their social media. Say hi to me in the chat. I love hearing from you. And Blue Lint is saying that at like 12, Will Leanna wants me to be romantic relationship with me. I don't know. 1 plus 2 is 3. This card represents turbulence. So if you want a relationship with somebody and that's what you're working on right now, the dog monkey folk are creating turbulence. So it's going to ripple her closer to you or ripple her away from you. And this is going to happen like faster. You're going to get your answer faster. So I'll read from here, number 12. Hi, Peekaboo. Good to see you in the chat. How's it going, Gina? What's the topic? Just entered. Yeah, it's great to see you today. Live Hangout. You'll have to catch the replay. I'm looking for folks to be on my show, my Tuesday show. If you've got some story medicine to share, love to hear it. And I'm also looking for speakers for my conference. Now, typically, dragons who are on my Tuesday show become speakers at my conference. So if that sounds appealing to you, please reach out. You can send me an email, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. And Peekaboo is saying, coincidentally, a good friend of mine from Virginia is named Gina. I call her Gina from Genia. My grandmother's name was Virginia. I've got a cousin, Virginia, and a lot of my female cousins, their middle name is Virginia as well. Verge. Yeah, Verge. Okay, so let me read number 12 here for you. This is a collective that I pulled for everybody. If you want me to pull a card for you, please make a contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. No money, no problem. Do something and let me know in the chat what you did. So card number 12, White Rabbit, Ripples of Change. Oracle card number 12 was described as representative, symbolizing a convergence of the dog, monkey, folk, and white rabbit, and the wise and well whale and orca elders. The central theme is being stuck, likened to falling down a rabbit hole with no apparent escape, leading to a state of waiting. The actions of these entities, such as the rabbit hopping and the whales breaching, are interpreted as creating turbulence, with breaching the water metaphorically representing breaching the sky. Visual elements like the white rabbit's tail, ocean whitecaps, and orca markings are presented as interconnected metaphors. So look for those metaphors. Look for the white clouds. That's the rabbit's tail, the cottontail. Look for the white on the whales that you might see, and let us know how this card relates to you. All right. If you wanted to purchase the Dragon Dreams Oracle, the link is, you can find that in the description. It comes in a nice double tin container. And all the images on the Dragon Dreams Oracle come from my dream journal. So they're pictures that I literally took from my dream journal, and all of the meanings are from my dream journal. And what I did is I put that all, I was going to say transplanted. I took that information from my dream journal, put it on cue cards, and the cue cards became the oracle. And then eventually, in the month of December 2025, I published them, and now they're available to the public. So if you would like me to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, please make a contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. The link is there in the description. Peekaboo's wondering if I'm Italian. Yes, my father's side is Italian, and my mother's side is French. My mother's side is also Métis. The only language we speak is English. And as far as culture goes, we were raised in Canada, North America. I was born and raised in Timmins, Ontario. My mère, my mother's mother, Virginia, she was, we don't identify as Indigenous Métis. And the Italian side, other than adding a lot of garlic and Parmesan and enjoying pasta, we really enjoy the food. But I have yet to make it to Italy. I'd like to make it to France. My family, like many families, I believe my mother's father came from the Calgary area, and like lots of cowboys at that time, they made their way to the James Bay area in search of gold. And my mère grew up in the middle of ass fuck nowhere. She was one of those like rural folks. So Hi, Gary. Good to see you. Gary from Tucker and I. Gary's into hunting and fishing and always has all kinds of merchandise. And, Peekaboo saying, oh, okay, Italian food is amazing for sure. I've never been to Italy either, but definitely plan on going soon. Yeah, take me with you, Pikachu. Send me your air miles. And if you're tuning in and you've got a ghost story or some kind of spiritual experience, I just want you to know that it's not a coincidence that you're hanging out with me. That's the energy that I provide, and without trying, it's trying to be trying, but I cast out an energy where it invites people to share out and to share experiences. So if you're wondering why my scarf's on my head today, my hat, it's because it's just way too hot here. Back of my neck's getting sweaty. I've got my swimsuit on here. So let me just clear the energy. If anybody would like me to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, you got to make a donation on my BMAC. And if you don't have any money, no problem. Do something. What can you do? If you're local, you can make me dinner. Anybody in the London, Ontario area? You know, maybe you've got some extra air miles to give me. Hey, let's go to Italy, right? Let's get some pizza together. Let's go have a campfire with Gary and Tucker from Tucker and I, right? What can you do? Look at your resources, look at your tools, and that's coming from the stone people, right? And this business of not owing anything after you leave this world, just in case I've provided you with free service and whatnot, it's cool. You don't have to worry about it. I've said my prayers and whatnot, so nobody owes me anything. But from this day forward, you need to be paying. That's how the Oracle works, and that was reiterated in my shamanic training by the Four Winds, and it was also recently reiterated in my dreams. Let me know if stone people means anything to you. So I'm outside staying hydrated. I've got my flora here. This I made with some lilacs. It was purple, and I used vodka. And hey, you know what? A special shout out to women in Indonesia, ages 20 to 30. I looked at my statistics on YouTube, and a few months ago, it was the same. Women in Indonesia, ages 20 to 30. Hi, women in Indonesia, ages 20 to 30. Thank you so much for your support. I know my flora videos in particular and my fires that I had, like the really shitty ass videos that I post, those are the videos that women in Indonesia, ages 20 to 30 are soaking up. And it means the world to me. It really, really does. Really, really does. So let's keep in the chat here. Pikachu, it's the same as my friend. Oh, I already read that comment there. Peekaboo, I had a few experiences. I'm not sure if they'd classify as paranormal or not, though. Well, you know what? That's a really good point that you made, because the paranormal is very normal. You're right? So I love that, you know, you're even asking, like, the paranormal is very normal. If you wanted to write a little bit about it in the chat, you can, and I can read it publicly. Or, you know what you can do too, is send me an email, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com, to be on my Tuesday show, Story Species, Story Medicine. So you can watch the replay. I talk about it. You can find the slides that highlight the information on my Buy Me a Coffee, and also as a featured item on my Facebook group. Hi, Double Man. How are you doing today? Double Man wants to know, is Jesus Christ your Lord and Savior? So I love Jesus. I grew up Roman Catholic, and so we were raised in a way to believe in God. We grew up in grade 2. I got baptized when I was a baby. We did the first communion in grade 2, first confession in grade 3. Confirmation, I think that was like a grade 8 thing. I've never been married, but had I gotten married in my early 20s, it would have been a traditional church wedding with a mass. These days, I tend to identify with the elementals and Mother Earth and seeing God as the greater oneness. And Jesus, he's absolutely in that mixture. I've always resonated with Jesus as my brother. I've always resonated with Jesus as a neutral party, somebody that you can talk to without judgment. And this business of being a savior, I feel like only we can really save ourselves, and it's interesting now, just bringing Jesus up, because I was thinking about the Salem witch trials and what ET folk and whatnot must have thought when all of that was going down, and what must be going through their minds when they see people who identify religiously, politically, getting beaten up and stuff like that. And it's like, what were they thinking when the Son of God was crucified, right? So, Jesus, I have a special place in my heart for Jesus, and I always will. And also Mother Mary, the Virgin Mary. I always felt a special connection to Mary. I always felt concerned for her. The birth of Christ is such an incredible story, and it was told to me in my childhood, and it always resonated with me. Just whether it's true or not, just this business of Mary and Joseph on a donkey and robbers and whatnot realities, and a baby being born, and the special star in the sky, and folks coming together. Prince of Peace, Prince of Peace. Come, let us adore him. So I'm just going to check my Buy Me a Coffee. It's supposed to make a cha-ching sound when somebody donates, but I don't think anybody donated. If you would like me to pull a card for you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, send some MONEY my way. Okay, I'm checking now. Nobody sent me money. If you sent me money, let me know in the comments, because it doesn't show up on my end. And as I mentioned before, no money, no problem. But what can you do? Can you make me dinner? Do you live locally here? Maybe you can create a mini movie for me. Let me read Peekaboo's comment, and then I'm going to show you my mini movie Lushing, which I've been playing, and we can talk more, and that might give you some time to make a contribution. Peekaboo is asking, do precognitive dreams count as paranormal? So precognitive, just to clarify, when I read that word, it means like thinking that's already in your mind that you're consciously aware of. So if you were consciously aware of Frankenstein, for example, and then you had a dream about Frankenstein, would that make Frankenstein paranormal? Well, let's see here. I've had a lot of those. And even when I've been wide awake, I've had flashes of moments happening before they happened. So you're experiencing synchronicity, you're experiencing communication from your subconscious mind. Hey, Anchor Haven, good to see you. And your subconscious mind is communicating to you. And when you're dreaming, your conscious mind turns off. So your subconscious mind is letting you know, like, hey, here's some flashes, here's some glimpses. If you pay attention to that and honor it, the subconscious mind will keep providing you with that information. You can build on it and grow on it. So your waking life and dream life are illusion. So the dream world is an extension of that illusion. And the conscious mind puts things in shoe boxes, if you will, to help you categorize and make sense of things. So some dreams, we call them lucid dreams. So a lucid dream is when you're having a dream, but it's like being in a movie. You can walk around and you can talk. And sometimes interesting things happen in lucid dreams, like you can fly, but all of a sudden, it's like things start to go in slow motion. Something's holding you down. And we can talk about why that suppression, repression is happening in your dreams. So document your dreams. Even if they don't make sense, every single morning, start documenting your dreams. When you wake up, draw a picture, write words, a little scribble. It'll come together. It'll take a good 6 to 9 months, maybe even longer. For everybody, it's a case-by-case scenario. But dream journaling, I got that idea from David Wilcock. He didn't call it dream journaling. Maybe he did, but not that I recall. He just was like journaling your dreams or any information that you wake up with in the morning, right? So, and you will start to see patterns. You know, this Dragon Dreams Oracle, this did not happen overnight, you know. And Peekaboo is saying, now I feel like I want to travel to Italy this month. Yeah. Yeah, take me with you. Take me with you. So if you'd like me to pull a card for you from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, you can make a donation on my Buy Me a Coffee. I'm hanging out with you today. Let me play that video for you, looshing. It's really scary. I'm still processing that I even created it, that this nightmare communication came through me. And if you're not scared, well, that's just your mind doing its number one job and protecting you. Even telling you that this mini movie medicine is not scary.
love me for me. Do you? Do you? Do you?
So what did you think of my mini movie medicine? Looshing. Oh, so terrifying. While it was playing, I put my BMAC link there in the live chat. I also put the link so you can read Looshing absolutely free. Read it, rewatch it. It freaks me out, and that is Laura Ferguson, Starcy Blolo. I had full permission from her to use that song. And I've got another mini movie that I'd like to show you. And this mini movie is called, the next one, it's called Project 30, ISIS Unity Consciousness. And it's about my dream life and waking life bridging together, coming together. And it's about highlighting the story of how I found my gemstones. So I tell this story all the time. The short version is that I was having interesting dreams, like I always do. And then I had kept dreaming of the Gnome King, talking about language and medicine, this business about stones. Stone people have been in my life, I feel like, forever. I just not aware in any ways. I asked the Gnome King in a dream, and in my waking life, I was like, you know what, can you give me a rock or a stick or something, and then I can find it in my waking life, and then I can meditate with it and think about you. Well, I forgot all about that. And then later on that summer, I found the gemstones at the beach, started meditating with them. One thing led to another. They started identifying themselves to me. I buried them in the soil, kept them in the dark. My subconscious mind, the darkness, merging with the stones' subconscious mind. And my gemstone reading became a divinational practice that I created for myself. And it's always changing and alchemizing. And I used to belong to multiple communities online, and I found myself grabbing my gemstones, randomly offering my 2 cents. And it really resonated with people. And I was shy about it, but eventually I started doing gemstone readings. So it's really exciting. So let me play you the next video. The next video, it's about 4 minutes. And Michael Kopf helped me put the images together. And I don't know if you've noticed and what your experience is like, but with Looshing, I was really happy because I was able to change the slide so it was in sync with the music. But Michael and I, we had a hard time doing that. So each picture, video, it will hold for 5 seconds. And this is the kind of stuff that I need help with. Michael and I were very open about being amateurs, and we are loving being amateurs, So if you'd like to get involved and you'd like to help me transform my content into movies that are higher quality, that would be more appealing to the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, please reach out to me. I would absolutely adore for you to be involved with that process. And I'm happy to offer you a 45-minute gemstone reading in exchange. So there's always opportunities in the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. So here's my second video. While I'm playing it, if you wanted to send some money my way through my Buy Me a Coffee, I've got the Dragon Dreams Oracle here. But you got to make a financial contribution. No money, no problem. What can you do? What can you do? Let me know in the chat that you did something, and then I'll pull a card from you. So this one here is Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness. So the girl in the video is me, and the guy in the video is Michael Kopf. Okay, here it is. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, and before I forget, if you belong to the Project 30 ISIS consciousness, ISIS Unity Consciousness membership, then one of the bonuses is that as I release these mini movies and hopefully soon longer length movies, we're going to have movie nights together as a collective. So that bonus has not come to fruition yet, but Michael and I, we were just chatting behind the scenes about possibly having a little mini movie night late August, and then possibly releasing another one at that time and or at the September conference. So we're getting in the swing of things, you know. Okay, so here's the movie, the mini movie. This one's about it's 3 minutes 27 seconds long, and again, the song used is from artist Starcy Low, better known as Laura Ferguson.
In the shadow of the mountainside, where the ancient spirits like to hide, I feel the chill of a ghostly breath, dancing on the edge of life and death. All the trying waits in the velvet light, scales of obsidian, eyes of light, a mighty power from the depths below, watching as the embers start to glow. Whispers echo through the hollow hall, ghostly figures leaning against the wall. They tell the tales of the fire and bone, of a kingdom built on a dragon's throne. All the trying waits in the velvet night, scales of obsidian, eyes of light, a mighty power from the depths below, watching as the embers start to glow. Through the smoke and through the fire, rising higher, rising happy into me. Wings of shadow on a plane, calling out the ancient name, calling out the ancient name. The dragon flies, a spirit cries beneath the dark and heavy skies. Eternal flame and heart of stone, never truly left alone. Never truly left alone. Never truly left alone.
So I hope you like that mini story medicine. Michael Kopf and I collaborating behind the scenes. Peekaboo's wondering if I rap or sing. No, I not formally. I was a teacher for 20 years. I taught a lot of kindergarten and primary, and so I was really big on promoting oral language. So we always had a weekly poem. There would be some kind of song with actions. We would do things 3 times in a row, super duper fast, like faster, faster each time. And whenever I would teach poetry, I would bring up rapping because we would talk about like teaching kids how to read. We would just invent our own words just because they rhymed. And I would tell them, you know, someday if you're a rapper, you could fall back on this lesson. So maybe you're thinking about my voice yoga comment. The reason I'm doing voice yoga is to strengthen my voice because it took a real hit. And been using it for a few weeks now. The chant, I'm learning it a bit better. So I'm a beginner with voice yoga. So yeah, Peekaboo, are you a rapper or a singer? Do you have any albums? Maybe you can provide music for my mini movies. You know, it'd be really cool is if Laura Ferguson, Starcy Lolo, performed live at one of my in-person conferences, right? That'd be awesome. I told her, I said, I want to make up a dance to the dragon. So I feel like what I'm going to do now is just show you cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, give you a flash. There's 91 of them. So I'm just showing them to you in no particular order. And when I was creating them on my cue cards, cards like this, when I went to make it public, turning it and shrinking the image, it was too small. So some of the images, you got to go sideways, horizontal. This card was huge last year. This card got pulled so much. I haven't really pulled it this much this year. So when I see it, I'm like, oh, there's that card. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. This year, the Dog Monkey Folk card's getting pulled a lot. The Wise and Well, Whale and Orca Elders, that card's getting pulled a lot. If you're catching the replay and one of these cards that I'm flashing speaks to you, maybe you see something 3D-ish about it, an image, a shadow coming from it, a ghost, a spirit, an animal face, let me know in the comments, even in, 40 years from now. I always love to receive the comments. This is my real hand that I traced. There's another one about sovereignty, and I traced my real foot. I think the kindergarten teacher in me always tracing hands and feet. This is an important card. It's been coming up a lot lately, too. I feel like just political issues, weak power versus strong power, and what that really means. Some of these are a bit harder to see on the line. This one here, it's like me on my balcony, and then my balcony edge and more across the street. It's like shadows that are coming to say hi and to greet me, but it freaked me out at the time. This one here is the dragon. There's 91 cards altogether. 9 plus 1 equals 10. 1 plus 0 equals 1. We are 1. The dragon is 1. That was not even intended when I created this deck. So I actually was aiming for maybe like 75. I don't know why, but I was like, I don't know. I was like, should I have like 30 Oracle cards? Because Project 30, should I have like 50, 75? I felt like 91 was a bit much. But it is what it is. And there's even some extras. This is the Wise and Well Whale and Orca card that I was talking about. This is a power card too. There's quite a handful of power cards. So my book series, the Dragon Dreams book series, is the Dragon Dreams Oracle. That's how much I had to say. There's 8 books. There's a lifetime more coming. And I drew all of these. There's absolutely no AI involved other than like the font and uploading images. So the Dragon Dreams Oracle, really authentic. This is one of my favorite cards. You know, go stand in the wind and you know those leaves blowing around? You pretend that's you moving those leaves around. And then it's like, wait a minute, was I pretending that that just happened? This is another popular card. I think Lucky is just, it's always nice to pull Lucky. But as dragons out there getting familiar with the Dragon Dreams Oracle, or getting to remember some of the archetypes, Lucky, I'm not really sure what his species is. He's some kind of fox cat folk. And like a lot of my drawings, I thought I was using the color black, but I was using purple. And I thought, oh, great. Now I colored the sky purple. Now I colored his, you know, fur purple. But I learned that was intentional. So when you're dream journaling and drawing pictures, don't overthink what color you grab. Just work with it. And you know what? In some dimensions, the sky's always green and the water's orange. So you could very well be drawing a picture of a completely different reality. And then you're hard on yourself because you're like, oh, geez, I didn't do the sky blue. It was not supposed to be blue. So work with that. It's the Gnome King. Actually, my background here is the Gnome King. That's the card, and then I zoomed in a little bit there. I'm just the background. I'm like right in front of it. The Gnome King, he always kind of looks different every time I see him. He usually looks like some kind of old man. But like for a very old man, he's very healthy. And there's something like gnome, elf kind of about him, but there's something very animal insect about him too. He's a shapeshifter, and he can even present in the form of the elementals. So he might be like part human, part waterfall. You know, it's just varies. So, hey, Christy, good to see you here. I'm just hanging out. It is hot today. Let me know if it's hot where you are. Just showing cards from the Dragon Dreams Oracle. Shadows of the stars. Did you ever think that the shadows had stars? They do. Shadows of the stars. You know, you don't see the shadows because they're in the dark, right? And Christy is saying, in Oklahoma, humid. Ah, yes. Oklahoma. Here in Canada, I'm in London, Ontario. We are in full effect with our summer, and it's unusually hot. Like this is heat wave. I was actually a bit worried. I'm outside right now, and I thought that my computer might overheat or something like that, but it seems to be fine. I'm in the shade. I'm staying hydrated. I've got a big jug of water here, and I last night pitted some cherries, put it in here, gave it a good shake, and then now that's what I'm sipping on today. A few days ago, I was enjoying cucumber. Yeah. So, Christy, when are you going to be on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine? Christy's published books herself. And those of you who are tuning in, maybe catching the replay, you don't have to be a published author to be on Story Species, Story Medicine. So you can re-watch the information that I reiterated. This one, I always have a little bit of a laugh. Read between the lines, right? Sacred lines, sacred geometry. It's hands that are like this. Read between the lines, and so then you get the middle finger. This card, though, it's funny, but then it's also serious because it talks about like lines on the map and lines on your body, the sovereignty, colonization. This card was pulled a lot last year. This one here. So usually I hang out with you live on Tuesdays at 1:30. That might have thrown some of you off. 1:30 Eastern. It's 1:02 p.m. Eastern right now. So it's getting hotter and hotter here. So I thought, you know what? I might as well go live extra early. And if anybody out there wants me to pull a card for them, make a contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. No money, no problem. What can you do? Let me know in the comments. Maybe you left me a raving review. I can check that out before I pull a card for you. And I already pulled a card for the collective, so you can go back and catch the replay. You know. Christy's putting her email in the chat. Christy, send me an email. Yeah, here, send me an email. Gina Virginia Casella at, what's my email? gmail.com. I can next show. Okay, not next Tuesday, Christy, but next Tuesday. Send me a Gmail now, simultaneously, if you don't mind, that is. It's good synchronicity. Christy is psychic. Her spidey senses were tingling. She was like, wait a minute, I think Gina needs a guest on her show. And then now she's here with us live. See? So anybody out there who's listening, stories are medicine. You're medicine. You're a story species, right? So every time you're sharing your story, you're sharing medicine. And you might not have realized that. So whether you're a published author or not, reach out to me. Do like Christy. Send me an email, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. Let me know you want to be on my Tuesday show. Next week, I won't be available live. I'll be playing replays. But the week after that, I'll be going live consistently. And my intention, I'll be available behind the scenes next week. My intention is that every Tuesday, starting next week, sounds like Christy's going to be first in line for that. Back-to-back Tuesdays right up until our conference. And if you're interested, Christy, in being a speaker, a dragon speaker, let me know. Typically, folks who are guests on my show become the dragon medicine bearers. And there's information that I can send you. Again, those of you who are, a lot of people are scrolling today. I do that too. You know, you're on YouTube and you're scrolling, what's going on here, what's going on there. So you're catching bits and pieces of what I'm saying. If you need me to say it again, Dragon Dreamers, I will. I would absolutely delight. It would be my dragon delight for you to be on my show. You know, I'm interested in your story medicine. You're not alone. Bigfoot stories, Virgin Mary sightings, SSP. There's different meanings to that. Secret space program, super soldier program. There's another one. I'm just brain farting it out right now, but I don't do the CCT, the crumple toss. So when you come on my show on Tuesdays, it's very laid back, informal. And I'm a pretty easy host. I'm always full of questions. And the show typically runs anywhere from an hour or two. If folks are tuning in live, they can ask questions. I tend to be up before the birds, so my life starts a little bit earlier. A lot of people don't catch the live, but they do catch the replay. So make sure if you're catching the replay that you leave comments. I love receiving your comments, even from years from now. Yeah, it's really nice. This card I love, inventive spelling. Bears are brown, beige, black, and white. Bears are very special. I love bears. And most of the words are spelled wrong. And it's because I taught a lot of kindergarten, grade 1, and you wouldn't believe how many children limit themselves because they don't know how to spell a word. You know, they would rather dumb down what they're saying, and the quality really gets lost. And so it's like talking is writing, and inventive spelling all the way. You'll figure it out. You'll get there. You know, and I do miss my old matrix a lot, but this is my new matrix now, and it's nice hanging out with you live here. This is the one I was talking about earlier. So all the hands and feet, those are my actual hands and feet that are traced. So it's cool because the original that has that are on the cue cards that I made, it's the actual size, but then transferring it on here made it smaller. And I don't know if you can see, but right here, there's a glare. That's a ghosty and or a spirit and or one of your archetype spirit guides. Only you would know. So on the literal level of snake, it's the glare from my camera. But when I was transferring the photos from the cue cards on here on the computer, I was cropping the photo to take that out. And something within me was very troubled by that. And it was like, no, stop doing that, Gina. And it was like, well, honestly, I'm not going to be impressed if I personally were to buy an oracle card and there's like camera flash glares all over the camera, right? Like, come on. But it's intentional. See, it's that subconscious communication again. And I wasn't working with it. And then I said, no, I'm going to work with it. So when you look at the Dragon Dreams Oracle, if you were tuning in earlier, I was commenting that it comes with this booklet. Use it, don't use it. Okay. Why is this card perfect for you right now? Maybe it's just one word that comes to your mind or a little sentence. Maybe there's this whole entire deep dive that unfolds. Write it down before you forget. Record yourself talking it out. So all of these cards come from my dream world, based on real dreams, half remembered, half misunderstood. There's a lifetime more coming. There's a playlist right now in my YouTube called Conscious Evolution Mini-Series, something like that. And last August, I started running a group, and I put those videos there. And they're just free now, available to the public. And this August, I'm going to be remaking those videos and making a whole lot more. And those videos, they'll probably be free to the public. But I won't be free to the public. You'll have to belong formally to the Project 30 ISIS Unity Consciousness membership. That membership's got lots of bonuses. So I don't have it all figured out yet. But when you hang out with me live and follow me for free, you get in on stuff. And this is the kind of stuff. So I'll probably be going live, but it'll be a private link. The first Tuesday and Wednesday of the month. And then the rest of the Tuesday, Wednesdays of the month will just be like a bonus. So if I'm available, I'll come live. So I know a lot of dragon dreamers out there. You got so many intrusive entities, right? Oh, God. You're not losing your mind. You know, if you think for a second that you have an intrusive entity, you probably have an intrusive entity. And, you know, this business of clearing the affinities, like we can clear affinities, but the thing is, it's like we don't realize how metaphorically dirty we are. So it's like if you see somebody like myself who can clear your affinities, every time I see you, I'm only clearing one theme of infinities, if you will. It's not like it's like mind reprogramming. I'm finding spirit work. You can only really focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, it's too much. It's not effective. You lose the quality. So, Christy, if you're still tuning in, send me a Gmail because I want you to be on my show. Dog, monkey, folk. Yeah, and that dot in the middle, that's my period blood. So I have a special relationship with blood. I never did before, at least not that I'm conscious of. But menstrual blood. A handful of years ago, I was really connecting to my feminine side. I'm very masculine. I identify as female sexually, biologically, everything about me is female. But spiritually, I'm quite male, very masculine. I have a hard time receiving. And so I'm still working on my feminine expression. And to make a long story short, I'll be 45 next month, and I still get my full period. And I've never had children before, and I never really thought about the blood in my womb as special. And for what it's worth, like if there's a crime scene and there's blood everywhere, scientists can tell if it's menstrual blood or not. And this menstrual blood is the very first relationship that our key seeds, hopes, and dreams have a relationship with. Like, so on a literal level, when eggs get fertilized, they stick to the side of the womb. And it's really special. And not all women menstruate. Most do, but a lot of women get hysterectomies and stuff like that. There's much to be said about it. And then there's something I wasn't aware of through Tara Wild's teaching. She goes by Tara Braiding these days. She taught me about how long ago the Irish, Celtic, and goddesses in particular, and the people would put their menstrual blood on seeds. And that was like the best good first start that somebody could provide to the seeds. And women, you know, before the tampon days, they would go out into the garden and literally sit in the soil and have their periods, right? And we see this relationship with the blood and the body. A lot of indigenous folks, they bury the umbilical cord, that kind of stuff. So anyways, every single card has a stamp of my blood. So, oh, hi, Jason. Good to see you. Got missing time 420. I usually go live 1:30 on Wednesdays. I've been live since 11:30, hanging out here, playing my mini movies. And Chrissy's saying, we met at the conference this time last year. I know, and it was so much fun, right? Like, last year was my first time in Florida. Take me back, Florida. I miss you. I love you. Had so much fun there. It was quite the drive to get there. And I met lots of awesome people. I met Christy. And as soon as I met Christy, basically we just quickly finished dinner and we just went right to the beach. And I already went in the water and I was wearing like my evening clothes. But Christy was in her jean shorts and just went right into the water. And then I was like jealous. I'm like, I need to get in there too. But then it was getting dark, and I remember telling Christy, like, I was like, I'm gonna check the time on my phone, and you better not drown and float away on me. And then I like just remember looking down, and then she was out of the water, and I thought, oh my God, like it taught me a lesson. Actually, I don't remember if I told Christy this or not, but it taught me a lesson because I shouldn't have looked down. I shouldn't have. Because that moment that she got out of the water and walked towards me, I wasn't even aware of that until she was like right there. Meanwhile, it just that 1 second could have something happened, And Rob and I, we'd go for a walk every morning, and we didn't know, but there was dolphins every single morning and stingray. And I think back to that. I'm like, oh my God, like Christy and I were right there. Hanging out with stingray, and we didn't even know. Thanks for not stinging us, stingray. And one of the dolphins bonked into Rob's leg. We didn't, and I was out of the water at the time, and he didn't know it was a dolphin. so he actually he was like, "There's a shark," and everybody's like, "Wait a minute." He wasn't being funny though. He thought it was a shark. It was a baby dolphin. It was really cute, and I have super shitty video evidence of it. And honestly, if for some reason dolphins were elusive species, that it was like a Bigfoot kind of situation, if my video was the video that everybody was counting on, like forget it, right? Like, oh my gosh. So hi Iron Bear, I see you there. Oops, I lost track of the comments here. Iron Bear saying good afternoon. Hi Iron Bear, good to see you. Christy's saying that's beautiful, and she says that she remembers. Yeah, it was a really fun time last year. She didn't want to be out there alone. Yeah. So something I had a hard time with last year was finding balance, because everybody was everywhere. Some people were eating, some people were at the beach, some people were by the fire, some people were going inside and dancing. I felt like I wanted to be everywhere at the same time. And me, like, once I'm sitting at the beach, I'm not going anywhere, And if I'm sitting by the fire, well, now I'm not going anywhere. So I remember at one point I was hanging out with some people, and they really wanted to go inside and check out what was going on. And I was like, I don't want to go inside. And I did. And then I was glad, because there was like a nice party scene going on. And Jason is talking about, I swam with a really big shark in Hawaii at the conference. Yeah, and if you go to Jason's YouTube channel, you can find that video there. I put a video, now he's saying, on his channel. Yeah, usually I go live at 1:30, so in case you're wondering what's going on, I did a little promotion. It is hot here today. We're having official heat wave weather. So I wasn't sure if I'd still be able to handle being live, but for what it's worth, it's really cloudy out. So we've got that grace right now. Iron Bear saying, Jason, that definitely looked like the shark from the movie Airborne. Oh, I'll have to watch that. And Jason's laughing. Yeah. So in case you're wondering why my dream scarf is up here on my head, it's just too hot to wear this around my neck, right? So I thought, well, why don't I just put it here? And I thought I might have to tie up my hair, but I think so far it's so good. If anybody out there listening would like me to pull a card from the Dragon Dreams Oracle, please make a donation on my Buy Me a Coffee. The Stone people reinforced that. You can catch the replay. Yes, Christy, my current time is 1:20. I am Eastern Standard Time, Toronto, New York. Canada has different time zones. So remember I was chatting with somebody from Ireland, and they're like, Ireland time? And I'm like, like, is all of Ireland the same time zone? It was really confusing. And then I was chatting with somebody from the UK, and I'm like, wait a minute, because our time zone changed and then their time zone changed, and it got confusing. So good to check in about time zones. So maybe is a good time for me to show you some of those slides again while I'm at it. So I was going to do it closer to 1:30, but and Jason saying Arizona doesn't change times. Oh, Arizona, is that the Pacific time zone? I found that I really did better in the Pacific time zone. I lived in British Columbia, so Canada is kind of like a rectangle shape, if you will. One side, we've got PEI, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Labrador. That's the Atlantic Ocean. So Atlantic salmon and your lobsters, that's that side. And lots of Irish Celtic folk migrated there. On the other side of Canada, that's our Pacific Ocean. British Columbia, Alberta is on that side, and that's the Pacific Standard Time. That's where you can get Dungeness crab, and the you can get Pacific salmon. So it's really interesting because Atlantic salmon is farmed in the Pacific Ocean, and then every now and then, you know, the fish get out of the nets, the cages. And so if you're fishing in the Pacific waters, then you very well could pull an Atlantic salmon out of the water. So let me know what you're drinking, how you're staying hydrated. I was enjoying some water with cucumbers last night before I went to bed. I got this big jug, pitted some cherries, gave it a good shake. Doesn't really taste cherry, but when I get a chunk of cherry, it's a nice little chew. Iron Bear's commenting mountain time, I think. And Iron Bear, I thought some parts of Arizona did change. I really don't know. I would love to go to Arizona. In British Columbia, the province that's in the Pacific Ocean area, they have a city called Kamloops, and that's known as Canada's desert. It's not a desert exactly, but it's, hey, for Canada, that's a desert, okay? And the reason it's called a desert, well, we call it a desert, is because there's like a lack of grass because it's so hot. And here in Canada, when you think about our environment, you might think of deer and moose and lots of green, but and animals are somewhat elusive. But in Kamloops, you just like see the deer because there's nowhere for them to hide. If you live in a community like Quesnel, known as the Caribou, I lived there for a few years. Really loved living there. I was hopeful to retire there, actually. And Quesnel is very dense with forest, and every day I saw deer, like lots of deer, and it was really eerie. Sometimes they would be lying down in a small herd on people's front lawns, and it's as spooky as that was. Like, I wasn't used to it, but people just really connect and get to know the deers over the years. And I saw fox like pretty much every day when I was driving. I didn't see fox in my neighborhood. I saw bear and deer all the time, but I didn't see fox. I always saw fox when I was driving in the morning, and it was always different fox. And wow, what beautiful fur, right? Beautiful, beautiful fur. So Big Dragon, welcome to you. It's 1:25 on my end here, Eastern time. Usually I go live at 1:30, but today I came on at 11:30. So I've been live for 2 hours now. Maybe I'll just remove this comment here. All right. So, if you'd like to be on my show, Story Species, Story Medicine, send me an email, ginavirginiacasella@gmail.com. It's there in the chat. And basically, originally I was targeting published authors, but you don't have to be published. And when you share your story, you share medicine. And Jason's commenting, the fires are bad there. Yeah, are you talking about, oh, I missed a comment here. Sorry there. Okay, hold on, Jason. Let me go back here. Iron Bear is saying, how come they aren't talking about the Canadian wildfires? Who's they, Iron Bear? You know what's really eerie and spooky is that the wildfires that we're having here in Canada, it's like the new norm, very sadly. So maybe that's why you're not hearing about it so much, because it's just normal to us now that, you know, half the country's on fire and we've got all kinds of animals that are severely displaced. And for what it's worth, I appreciate your comment, Iron Bear, because how much, I don't use the word stupid often, but how much stupid shit is on the news. And then things like, you know, wildfires and the animals that are needing to be rehomed temporarily. It's not just the wild animals. People in the rural communities, they've got farms and stuff like that, right? Like, where are the horses going to go? Where are the donkeys going to go? We got a donkey sanctuary somewhere here in Ontario. There's lots of wild horses in the Alberta area. I've never personally seen one, but there's always been wild horses here in North America. But once upon a time, people started domesticating horses. And so there's a Facebook group. There's probably multiple, but I remember there was one Facebook group in particular that they make it a point to keep an eye out on so-called wild horses, because they study horses and they find these wild horses to be somewhat dysfunctional. And the theory behind it is that they're not wild horses. They were domesticated horses that probably got lost because of displacement with forest fires. So people leave them food and stuff like that because they have a belief that if the horse is out there in nature, hey, leave it out there in nature, because if you domesticate it again, it'll probably, you know, have to run away with another fire. Yeah, it's an ass sanctuary. It's an ass. You can go check out some ass here in Ontario. Sometimes the Weather Channel does. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. Smoking out Bigfoot. Oh, you never know. That's a good point. You know, I never thought about that. I mean, you could hide a dinosaur in the mountains. You really could. You could hide, you know, people don't realize how rural can be. You know. Yeah. You know, speaking of Bigfoot, I love Bigfoot documentaries, and so far I've only found one that I like, and it's called Reflections of Bigfoot, or maybe it's called Bigfoot Reflections. I always forget. But that is like the all-time best Bigfoot documentary out there. Any other documentary I've watched, they challenge too many things for scientists. For me personally, for a scientist, like, what kind of scientist are you if you're asking a question, could Bigfoot survive off of the food provided in nature? And it's like, how could Bigfoot not survive on the food provided in nature? I feel like is the question scientists should be asking. Like, are the scientists not aware of the big giant mushrooms that grow and the abundance of food that Bigfoot would eat, just like any bear? Anyways, rant over. But I also have a belief that scientists, not all, but a lot, are intentionally bullshitting and stuff like that to keep people away. I also have a belief that people who are studying Bigfoot claim that, geez, all these years have gone by, nothing. But they keep their camp there all the time. I have a theory that they're protecting Bigfoot. So, yeah, check it out, Jason, for sure. It's called Bigfoot Reflections or Reflections of Bigfoot. You might find it on Netflix. I don't have Netflix anymore, but at one point it was on there. And YouTube at one point had it as well. Something else I really like watching, Jeremy Wade's River Monsters. Any River Monster fans out there? And you know what? I didn't know it at the time, but I swear, Jeremy Wade's River Monsters is very much in alignment with my dream life and all of the Dragon Dreams book series. Initially I was in it because I liked watching the big catfish get caught, and I liked his detective attitude, trying to find it, and the investigation that went with catching. Oh, you love Jeremy Wade? Yeah, Jeremy Wade is so awesome. And, what I love about him the most is he releases all the fish. One show he wanted to release the fish, but it was super controversial because the whole community and shaman and everybody came together for him to catch the fish. There was a spiritual element, and it's only because the fish ended up basically the fish was going to die. Jeremy Wade surrendered it, but Jeremy Wade basically was willing to die. He wasn't going to give that fish back. And then there was another really controversial one because Jeremy Wade was looking for sharks. Sharks were killing people, and he was advocating that sharks are not people killers. It was bizarre because it's river monsters, so what are sharks even doing in the river, right? So he investigated it, and he ended up catching a shark, and he released it. And he told the scientists that he was working with two, because that community at the time was like, if he catches a shark, kill it. And it's like, well, how do you know it's even the shark that, killed or whatever it was? Anyways, the point I wanted to make was Jeremy Wade's River Monsters, on the literal level is why I was watching it. But on the spiritual level, he talks about the gods and goddesses and the Kali River. And he speaks about the Kaliak that I had no idea about until a handful of years ago, when I was learning about the goddesses and ancient Ireland and whatnot. So Iron Bear is saying that, people act like they're dumb. One of my spirit guides, Manus, that's what he has to do. He's like an archetype. He's a former version of me. And he's so super highly intelligent, but his technology and ideas get transformed into weapons and stuff. So he has to be careful how he's presenting things. And sometimes he can't just share an idea for different reasons. And he has to play dumb. And sometimes it's to protect things. And sometimes we're just not socially, emotionally responsible enough to handle his ideas. So it's really interesting, So when people are telling lies and bullshitting, and they are, part of me is well, you know what? They might be doing some secrets are safe for keeping. I do believe that some secrets are safe for keeping. Jason saying, yeah, many people keep their very area a secret, they have an agreement with them. Yeah, protect us and we'll protect you. Absolutely. And the Jeremy Wade has every episode is a great episode, but he has a 2-hour catfish special. That's my favorite. And it's one of those movie videos that I play over and over again. When you're just playing a video, you don't want to overthink it. That's the video that I play, the 2-hour catfish special. Iron Bear commenting, some adapt to fresh water, talking about the sharks. Also, it's pretty much humans making the sharks aggressive by putting raw meat and blood drops Close to the shore, yes. Yes. Yeah. I saw a terrifying video. Everything turned out, thankfully, to be okay. It was a terrifying video because of exactly that. I don't remember where it was. It was on Facebook. I was scrolling through Facebook. And there's this random video of people, and they have like a heavy duty fishing rod with a big chunk of meat, nice and bloody at the end of it. And they throw it out there, they cast it out there to get the shark's attention. And then when the shark bites on it, they reel the shark closer to the boat so people can see. And they have one of those cages underwater so people have their scuba gear on, and then they're underwater with the sharks. Well, this shark came so fast, it actually bonked into the cage, and the cage top opened, and the shark went inside, and then the shark was the video was really scary because everybody was on the boat, and everybody was just like, people in bikinis, and there's music and drinks going around, and just like beautiful. And then all of a sudden there's panic, and then all of a sudden everybody is just quiet, completely silent. And me watching the video, I'm just waiting for like the water to turn red, right? And the one man on the boat, he just can't run there fast enough, and he's panicking. He's taking his hat on and off. He doesn't know what to do. And then he just opens the gate. There's nothing he can do. And then you just see the shark, this big, huge, muscular body, make its way out. Get the hell out of there. And I think the shark was just as scared, but thank God the shark didn't bite anybody in those moments of fear. And then the man just helped people get the hell out of there, out of the cage. Yeah. So there's 91 cards in the Dragon Dreams Oracle. They're all based on my real life, real dreams that I've had. And, it's interesting here in Ontario. So basically, ocean-wise, in Canada, that big rectangle shape, rectangular-ish shape, we've got the Pacific Ocean, Newfoundland, Labrador area, Nova Scotia, and a lot of folks from Ireland and Scotland came to Canada from the ocean that way. The other side, the Pacific Ocean, where British Columbia and Alberta are located, lots of Asian folks came there because they hopped on their boats and came across the water, right? Well, here in Ontario, we don't have an ocean. So how do people get to Ontario? Well, they have to go through the United States, that ocean area, and come through the Niagara Falls area. So the middle of Canada, if you will, lots of folks from Europe came here. So it's interesting the way Canadians talk and the dialect. It's all rooted in that history. And I've never been to Quebec, but apparently Quebec is very European in their structures. So, and Jason is just agreeing there with iron. He's saying totally iron. And Jason saying, do you remember when it was a big flex to go over the falls in a barrel? Yeah. Yeah, going over the barrels in a fall. If you go to Niagara Falls, I haven't been there in years, but if you go, they have a lot of interesting random things to look at. A wax museum. There's the Guinness World History Museum. They've got like shrunken heads in there and stuff. And they also have a little write-up there about people going over the falls in a barrel. So I already pulled a card for the collective. I put it in here. I think I did. White Rabbit Ripples of Change. This was the card that I pulled for the collective earlier. So if anybody out there wants me to pull a card for them, make a donation, contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. I'm feeling the urge to go to the washroom, so I'll probably be signing off here pretty quick. So if you want me to pull a card for you, make a contribution pretty quick. Jason's saying, as novel as it would be, I don't want my head shrunk. You don't want to be a mini head, Jason? Well, just what about shrinking your whole body? Just shrink you like a doll, Jason, and put you up there on my shelf. You can snuggle with Rosie at night in your doll formation. So as I'm flashing these cards, even if you're catching the replay in 40 years from now, let me know if anything jumps out at you. This card, I always feel a bit weird showing it. So if you purchased the Dragon Dreams Oracle, this card doesn't look like this. What happened was when I originally published the Dragon Dreams Oracle, before it went live to the public, I accidentally published the same card 2 times and skipped one. So when I did my first round of editing, this card here, Symbiotic Relationships, it's the one where the wolf is, I can show you now actually, it's Dragon number 48. Let me put it on screen share for you. Oh, actually, I got to pull it up first. Okay, you know what? I got to go to the bathroom. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play my mini movie again. I'm going to take off my microphone. And if I'm not back, well, I will be right back as soon as possible, okay? I really got to go. Ah. Okay, enjoy this movie while I go to the bathroom. Hey, dragons. Whew, I made it back in time. So, hope you're doing well. Gina, Virginia, Casella here. Today I logged on extra early, and we often wonder where the fuck is the grace and disgrace, right? Well, the grace in this heat is that it's quite cloudy outside. Doesn't smell like smoke, but it looks dark. Here in southern Ontario, because the Great Lakes are so close and the land is so flat, when the thunder cracks, it cracks. I've never heard thunder like I've heard thunder in southern Ontario. So if you're wondering why my scarf's on my head, it's too hot to wear around my neck. Okay, so going back to this card here, if you were to purchase the Dragon Dreams Oracle, you won't get this. There it is there. This is what it looks like. Symbiotic relationships. So that's a really important card. And on that note, if I'm flashing cards and you notice a spelling mistake or something like that, I fixed that as well. So if you want me to pull a card for you, please make a financial contribution on my Buy Me a Coffee. Otherwise, this one here is the one that I pulled for the collective. White Rabbit, Ripples of Change. And if anybody out there purchased the Dragon Dreams Oracle, it comes with a booklet. Use it, don't use it. Now, why is this card perfect for me? That's what matters. It's getting windy out here. Blow this away. So if anybody wants to be on my show, I run a show on Tuesdays, Story Species, Story Medicine. It's very chill, laid back. You share your stories, not other people's stories or things that you've heard. You talk about you and your interesting dreams. Maybe you saw a ghost. Maybe you had some kind of spiritual experience. Maybe you experienced something that was very natural, normal, fluid. Maybe you always have, and that's what you want to share. Maybe you experienced something that was really scary, and perhaps it caused you to be shut down. That happened to me when I was in grade 2. I've always had interesting dreams and spiritual experiences, but when 2 angels came out of my wall, that was not cool. It was completely different, and to this day, I don't know who or what those things were. Were they things? I don't know. But it caused trauma because my world didn't make sense anymore. Things are not supposed to come out of the wall, right? And so not only did my world not make sense anymore, I didn't make sense anymore. So I became known as a storyteller. Nobody ever called me a liar, but it's like, well, when you don't believe me, right? Like, what else are you saying? And in grade 2, after that experience, my vision and hearing flip-flopped. My hearing seemed to just be like a temporary thing. But to this day, I still wear contact lenses. And if I'm not wearing my contacts, I'm in trouble. I can't see. I'm not blind, but everything's very blurry. Like if I was walking and I needed to read street signs, yeah, I'm lost. And that's a scary thought. I've always wanted to get that eye surgery. So definitely contribute to my Buy Me a Coffee so I can get that eye surgery. And get me back to Florida. I'm not sure, but I think the Serrata was transforming into the Hilton or something like that. But that whole beach area was absolutely glorious. I had the best time ever. Every morning, wake up, go for a walk by the beach. It was really exciting because it's so dark outside. You got to wait till it's a little bit of light. And there were these police driving around on a golf cart looking thing every morning. So it just made me feel a bit safer. And most of the people there, they were doing like me, waiting till it got somewhat light enough outside. And then after your walk, you just go for a dip in the ocean. And it was really nice because I didn't have to wear my hat or my sunglasses. But by the time I was taking that little dip in the ocean, the sun's starting to get intense. Make your way back to your room. And then I wouldn't rinse off. If I had sand on me, oh, well, whatever. That was my sandy lifestyle. And I would change my swimsuit. So it was like, now I'm fresh and ready for the day. And because I would go back and forth to the beach every moment that I had. And at the end of the day, I'd give myself a nice shower. And I remember one time I literally got out of the shower, started drying myself, and I was like, oh, geez, like there's still all this sand on me. So I had to go like back in the shower and literally like make it a point to rub, like, you know, those big scrub brushes on cartoons. Like I felt like the hotel should gift everybody one of those. There's sand everywhere. Even when I came home, there was so much sand. All right. So I don't see anybody in the chat. I'll check my buy me a coffee just in case somebody put money in there. In the chat, I put, you know what? Actually, it smells like fire. We've got some kind of forest fire going on here in London. I can smell it now. It's official. I'm gonna ask my phone. I can smell it. It's not just never mind that grace and disgrace. It's fucking forest fire. London, Ontario, forest fire. Two hours ago, a heat wave and wildfire smoke are combining to create potentially dangerous hazard across southern Ontario on Wednesday. So here I thought maybe a storm was conjuring, but when I look at the clouds, it's too smoky looking, and officially I smell it now. So hope everybody is staying safe, and that sending any prayers for pets. You know, maybe we should do something special right here, right now, open sacred space, just for folks who are experiencing wildfires. We've got fires in southern Ontario. And I don't know if that went through. Fires in southern Ontario. So I don't have my rattle here, but and there goes my scarf. Mother of the waters, call to you. We call to you to take us back to the places where we can find ease with adhesion, cohesion, bringing the necessary water and moisture to the areas that are so dry. And we call to all the power animals, to the south, snake, jaguar in the west, hummingbird in the north, and eagle condor in the east, Pachamama, Mother Earth, and Father, Son, Grandmother, Moonstar Nations. Please help to guide the fire. Let it burn where it needs to burn. Fires are necessary. Let's take advantage of this fire. Some trees, I forget the tree offhand, but there's trees right here in Canada, right here in Southern Ontario, that require fire in order to germinate. Please help families and any domesticated animals, wild animals, find placement. Help bring grace to this disgrace. The north wind is the strong wind. Please, hummingbird, hold back the wind so the fire doesn't spread. Please, hummingbird, work with condor at the high levels, blowing the wind high so it doesn't impact the fire, to blow the clouds, to clear the sky, and to help bring the rain clouds. Some places in the world, there's too much water. Bring those clouds here. Bring those clouds here. Bringing the clouds here, the clouds are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you for hearing my prayer. Thank you to the wise and well, whale and orca elders for hearing my song and harmonizing it. Let it be my voice which rises above all the other voices right here in this present moment, bringing safety and ease and calm. Now, all right, dragons, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for joining me in our random prayer. We've got fires here. Stay safe. The fire is far from where I am. The sky here is a light white color. It's not even really gray. And I've been close to forest fires before where the sky's like completely black. And so we're still safe here. Hope you're being safe as well. We've also had a lot of tornadoes here in Southern Ontario. So if you don't need to be anywhere, stay home and make sure you stay hydrated. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much, Dragon Dreamers. Just a reminder, next week I won't be live, but I will be available behind the scenes. And I very much look forward to getting Dragon on my Tuesday show to share their story medicine. And hopefully those dragons will consider being a speaker at my conference. So Today's live was a little, I've been live since 11:30 a.m. And let me know which Dragon Dream Oracle card is your favorite. Let me know how the collective card I pulled resonates with you. It was this one here. Oh, it's upside down, sorry. White Rabbit, Ripples of Change. All right. Okay, Dragon Dreamers. Gina Virginia Casella here. Thank you so much for your continued support. And I'm dreaming of you, dreaming about our Soul Tribe Collective, dreaming about our co-dream ecosystem that we have, dreaming about all the good times that we have to share together. And I hope you're dreaming about me too. Okay. See you live next week. Reach out, Gina Virginia Casella at gmail.com. Okay. Dreaming of you.
Hey Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. I do all kinds of things. Gemstone readings, mind reprogramming, energy medicine. At this time in my life, I've been redirected by Source to bring us together. The Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective through an umbrella term called Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. You're invited to dream with us. Through dreams, half remembered and half misunderstood, we fill in the gaps for each other because we're all one. There's all kinds of times and dates lined up that I would absolutely adore for you to be a part of. And one of my favorite things to do is to assert that the Akashic records are not a permanent record because your past never defines you. And we can do what's called living consciously so we can die consciously. United are we. Be free. Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective awaits you. Dream with us. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, creator and visionary of Project 30 Isis Unity Consciousness. See you in dreams.